is video one of what I'm going to start turning into my music channel. Brief history, not that you really care, but for those who do. I've been a musician for 24 years. Picked up my first guitar at 10. My grandmother bought it for me for my birthday at a place called Media Play that has long been forgotten. And then I took one lesson at Mars Music, and they tried to teach me The Clash, and I wanted to play Ozzy and Metallica and stuff, and I never went back. So I am self-taught. That also means that I suck. I am not nearly as good as people who know theory. I am not a professional. I tried really hard to branch into professional music. It did not pan out for me, so I want to work with music. I want to do music for a living, and I think this is a really good outlet. Now, this channel is going to be everything from buying new equipment, testing new equipment. Every time I get something new, I'll post it up here. Every time I see something that I think is questionable and I don't really know what to think about it, there's new picks called attack picks. I think they look a little weird, but I'm probably going to buy some and try them for you. I want to try new things, and I want to start writing more music, and maybe I'll share some of that with you. But I want to do this with you, for you. I want to help you. If you're just getting into this, welcome. This is fucking awesome, man. This playing music it's an incredible thing. It's a way to connect with yourself and with other people in a way that a lot of people will never understand. So, welcome. I hope that you enjoy this as much as I enjoy making it for you. So, if you're new, doesn't matter if you're a child, if you are an adult, this is for all ages. If you are new and you are about to buy your first guitar, this is what I recommend you do. This is not the way. This is the way. This isn't the way. This is just what I would recommend. I know what I like. I know the things that I've done, the mistakes that I made. I've made all the mistakes in the book because I didn't have anybody to teach me. So I taught myself everything. If you're walking out and you're buying a new guitar, I started on an Abilene acoustic by Silvertone. It was cheap. It was a piece of garbage. It wouldn't stay in tune, and all I wanted to do was play metal. My first song was Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne, and the second song I learned was Talk Dirty to Me by Poison. And it's really hard to play metal on this. I can do it, kinda, still. But this is what I learned to play metal on. And it's not great. It's hard. It's not what you want. When you're a metalhead and you want to learn to play metal, you want to plug something in and you want that raunchiness. So consider what type of music you want to play. If you're looking to do something a little more acoustic driven, country, blues, anything a little slower paced, pick one of these guys up. You can get decent acoustics for pretty cheap. Pretty sure Yamaha, Epiphone, they all have guitars for $150, $200 that are good, solid guitars, great beginner guitars. When you pick up your first guitar, the first thing that I always do when I'm looking at a guitar is I look down the neck. Because this one I returned because the one that I had before this is the replacement. When I got it, the neck was bent, dipped right here. Even when everything was straight and the action was right, everything was adjusted correctly, there were dead spots, like here and here, where they sound kind of like that. It's no good. So check the neck, make sure it's straight. Make sure it's tuned before you do that. Make sure there's enough tension on the neck. Make sure the neck is straight. If it doesn't look straight, maybe ask somebody about it, but I would tend to stay away from those. Find you one that's good, looks good, because everyone's different. This is the same one that I had before, and it was just made a little different. Every guitar is unique. Every piece of wood that they use is not exactly the same. So you gotta gauge each guitar. The other thing, tuners. They're not overly important. Most of these tuners are going to stay in tune now. The really cheap ones, I would watch out for. At least do some Google research, because I'm going to tell you right now, if you have to tune your guitar every 3 seconds, you can't get it to stay in tune, and it always sounds like shit. You're not going to have that much fun playing. It's always going to sound bad, and you're probably not going to stick with it. So get you something that's going to stay in tune. If you're going electric, figure out, again, what genre you're going for. Blues, country, anything twangy, or if you want to sound like Jakey Lee, get yourself something that has some single coils. This is called a pickup. This is a humbucker style pickup. See how there are two of them? A single coil is a single coil, just one, not two. Humbucker has two. They're wrapped together, and I don't know the science behind it because I am not a luthier and I am pretty stupid. But it reduces the noise, and it's better for metal, gives more of that crisp, clean punch, whereas the single coils have more of a bright, dare I say, wet sound. That's great for blues and twangy country. So Stratocasters, Telecasters, things like that. I love Tellies. I want another Telly so bad. But if you're doing something metal, get you something with some humbuckers here. This guitar, PRS guitars, you really can't go wrong. I played Les Pauls for years. I got to know the Les Paul so well that I just never wanted to play anything else. And that was up until about, God, I guess it's been 7 years now. I'm getting old. I picked up this guitar, actually. Same, not this exact one, but same model. And I started to play it, and I fell in love with PRS guitars. And I tell you what, that's gonna be my main brand now. Obviously I'm gonna buy some Fenders, I'm gonna buy some Gibsons, but PRS guitars, I mean, I got this thing open box for $700, and this thing plays like a dream. It doesn't have the thick neck that a Les Paul does. It's still got some of that chunk to it, but it's a little bit thinner, but it doesn't feel like I'm playing on like one of those skinny toothpick Ibanez necks. Nothing against Ibanez. It's just not my playing style. And then you've got like the dime guitars that have that weird like V-shaped neck that sticks out, and that's for shredding too. I don't really like that. I like that classic Les Paul neck feel to it. And I love these for that. It's a little bit flatter than the Les Paul body that I'm used to, but it works really well. And you can shred on this thing. So be conscious. I highly, highly recommend you don't skimp on your first guitar. You just want to have something. You don't have to spend an arm and a leg. You can get great bargain guitars nowadays. Gone are the days where you have to spend $1,000 plus on a good guitar. You can get something really good for $300-400. I think the Tremonti, the black Tremonti with the Tune-O-Matic bridge, I think that goes for like $500 new, maybe $600. If you get it used, you could probably get that thing for $300-400. And like I said, PRS guitars, you can't go wrong. Epiphone Les Paul, if you can find a little Epiphone Studio Les Paul used, do it. I mean, you can't go wrong with a Les Paul. Some of these PRS, the Custom 24, Custom 22s, I think the McCartys, if I remember correctly, they have the push-pull pots, and I know that doesn't mean a ton to you right now. You can push and pull one of these knobs, and it will actually deactivate the one of the coils. So you can go from metal, jamming and shredding, you get that tone and that humbucking, and then you can pop it and only one of them is active, and you can go straight into blues and twangy, telly style country playing. So consider your genre, consider what you want to do with it, what you want to learn, what's going to make you happy. Then look at the instrument that you're looking at, look at it closely, make sure the neck is straight, make sure the tuners are decent, make sure it holds up. Ask questions, ask lots of questions. You can go into Guitar Center. I love Guitar Center, I go frequently. I like mom and pop shops. I'm a mom and pop shop guy through and through anyway, but with mom and pop shops, you go into the small shops. Drum City Guitar Land in Lakewood, Colorado was one of my favorites when I lived out there. There's one called Wholesale Music down the road from me that is just phenomenal. They have some killer guitars in there, and everybody really knows what they're talking about. Ask questions, ask about the guitar, the quality, ask what makes it so cheap, if it's a good bang for your buck. Ask lots of questions for your first guitar. And if all else fails, ask me. I'm not an expert, like I said, I'm not a professional, but I know what I like, and I know the mistakes that I've made, the things that I really don't like now. So if you're getting to know everything, sometimes it's just that little advantage, that little one-up that'll help you. So I hope you enjoyed this. Grab yourself a guitar and let's fucking jam.